Hello, welcome to the Butler's Printed Models assembly video for the Halifax aeroplane. These are the parts you should have in front of you. Whichever scale you've got, it's the same process, same number of parts. This is a 1/200 scale model, so 2 halves of the aeroplane, 8 halves of the 4 engines and the 2 stabilisers. You're also going to need a small file, perhaps a pair of pliers, and of course some Humbrol polycement to glue it all together. Okay, so we can move straight on the assembly. We'll put the engines and the bits to one side and just concentrate on the 2 halves of the aeroplane. First thing, just to remove these circles. Should come off pretty easy. This one's attached in 2 places, makes it a little harder. Makes it a little harder to remove. Careful not to damage the wheel. There we go. I'll use the pliers just to remove the excess. And then same on the other side. Came off much more easily. So the last thing is that there's there'll be a little bit of support underneath the engine, the machine guns at the top and at the back. So I'll just remove the support from them. Same on this one. Okay, so once you've been around and removed the support from underneath machine guns, you need to go around just clean it up with anything and a little bit extras that might be there with a file. I've done that off camera so that it doesn't waste any time. The only thing we'll do now is just to run a file through the hole underneath for the mounting post or magnet if you're going to put one in there. You just need to make sure that this is flat. Just get rid of any raised points. It's much easier to do this now than once the 2 halves are stuck together. So that's all it needs. Oh, we can glue the 2 halves together. So we want glue on both halves, and then we need to give it a few seconds to go tacky. Obviously, make sure everything lines up. Just wipe away the excess. Okay, that's looking all right. So we can put that to one side and concentrate on the engines. Okay, so we can look at the engines now. There are obviously inside and outside pairs of engines. They are all different, so we'll try and explain this now. First of all, you need to pair them up. There's going to be an exhaust on one half, and it's not there on the other side. So obviously that's a pair, consequently that's a pair. And again with these, I don't know how easy this will show up on the video, there's an exhaust there on that pair and an exhaust there on that pair. So we can glue them together straight away. Again, just give it a few seconds to go tacky. Wipe away the excess. And same for the outboard engines. There we go, last one. Okay, so we need to wait for the engines to dry and for the airplane to dry before we can do anything else. Okay, we've given time for everything to dry, so we can now put the engines onto the airplane. It's worth doing these for each engine, just rubbing a file down the join just to make sure that everything's nice and smooth for attaching onto there. I've done that on all these already. Now, the 4 engines are all different. If this isn't clear in the video, you just have to go by the words. So, the larger engines, the exhaust is to the inside, and the same on this one, whereas on the smaller engines, the exhaust is to the outside. That's it really. We'll attach these and then I'll run through it again. It's pretty obvious where to go because there's these mounting points, so there's not really any difficulty in working out which one goes where, or where they go, perhaps I should say. Again, same thing, glue on both sides, give it a few seconds to dry. Last one. Oh, knocking one off. Put that one back on again. Looks like I've knocked that one as well. So, all 4 engines are gone on. I'm sure you can spend a little bit more time than me. So we'll just run through the, I'll turn this over, it might be more obvious. Just run through the exhaust again. The outboard engines, the exhaust is on the outside, and the inboard engines, the exhaust is on the inside. So again, we ought to give that a little bit of time to dry before we fit the stabilisers. Okay, so given a chance for the engines to dry, so we've just got the stabilisers to put on. Obviously they go on the ends of the rear wing, and there's a bar on each one for attaching. There is slightly more of the stabiliser above the bar than below, and that's the same on the other side. And then they taper towards the back. On the larger scales, you can see it on this one. You might struggle on the smaller scales. You can actually also see the wing shape on the bar as well, which also helps orientate it. So they just need gluing on. Again, we'll give that plenty of time to dry so that it can, in fact, we'll glue the other side while that's drying. So, glue on both sides. Hopefully this one's tacky enough now. Obviously the bar should match up with the rear wing. And the other side, hopefully this is tacky enough now as well. Line that up, and then they're not very square at the moment. Well, there we go. Obviously once that's dry, then the aeroplane's finished.